is your friend, Daniel Kwame Pobi, coming your way on behalf of the HiCard team. This is HiCard's Leadership 360. This is where we discuss all things leadership, everything concerning personal development. And this is where we grow together, we improve ourselves together, we build ourselves, and we get ourselves to occupy the areas that God has destined for us to occupy. And if you've been following this year, we've just started discussions that relate to how we get ourselves to think through what it is that we want to see, what we want to bring forward, what we want to experience in our lives, to have to do and to become the people that we want to do. And it's my pleasure to welcome you. If this is your first time, click on that subscribe button and also click on that bell button so you get our notifications. In this episode, we're looking at 5 key areas for a future positive life. For a future positive life, we want to look at 5 key areas that you want to look at. And I want to begin with a quote by Albert Einstein. I'm sure you've heard me bring out this quote before. He says, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Albert Einstein says that is insanity. Remember, we talked about envisioning your future, and in that episode, we looked at the socialized mind, that we are socialized in a way to accept certain things in our lives as we are born and as we grow up. And then we talked about the self-authoring mind, where you begin to question things and then you want to change things for yourself. And we talked also about the self-transforming mind. These are 3 different developmental levels that we get to as we grow up as human beings and as we develop. And then we looked into the future thinking model as posited by Dr. Paul Shelley. And he says that there are 4 quadrants. There is a certain present negative that we don't like. There are situations that we find ourselves in right now we are not happy about, we are not comfortable with, and we want to see changes. We want to move into a certain future, which is our future positive. So once you want to get into that future positive, there are some things that you begin to do, some things that you begin to consider, some things that you begin to ponder over, some things that you begin to think about, and that gets you there. But then Dr. Shelley mentions that there are some 2 factors that could stand in your way from moving from your present negative to your future positive. The first one is the fact that something may be present in your life right now, which is positive, which you like, which you're enjoying. And sometimes you don't want to let go. You want a future positive, but you are also enjoying a certain present positive. And because of that, you don't want to let go. What if I make a move and then I lose what it is that I have? And that could stand in your way, just like it's said, leave that branch, then we will take care of you, God says. And someone says, what if I leave that branch and then no one takes care of me? So you want to, sometimes you want to hold on to that single branch. You don't want to leave it because you are not sure of how the future will look like. Then there is another factor that could stand in the way, which also has to do with a future negative, something that is unanticipated. Something bad could happen, something unimaginably bad could happen, and we get afraid of that. And because of what we are afraid of in the future that may not be positive, we begin to stagger and we begin to slow down on our drive to get to where that we want to get to. Just to recap our previous episode, because we are building on that, we want to launch further. And in this episode, we want to give attention to some future positive things and future positive goals that you need to set for the 5 key areas of your life. Our attention will focus on those 5 key areas to bring out certain things just to help you and I to find, what do we want to see? What do you want to see? What do I want to see in the future positive? What is it really? This is something that we think you should take very seriously, because if you go to just go through this exercise, it will change your life. I guarantee you that it's going to transform your life for that future positive that you want to see. So, if the question is, if you could design your life, okay, if you could design a kind of life that you want, that could be stand in place to fight and overcome and mitigate all those things that are unpleasant in your life, how would that life look like? If you could design a life for yourself in a way that you want it, how would that life look like? And you want to begin to think in that direction. You want to get yourself thinking in that direction and preparing yourself to occupy the place. And that is why in this episode, we are looking at 5 key areas. The first area is your spiritual life, the spiritual side of your life. The second place is about your health and your body temple, this physical body. You are a spirit being, but you live in a body. Your soul and your spirit dwells in a body. So this body temple and the health of it. The third one is your primary love relationships. All of us, we need love. When we're interviewing the father figure in our lives, Daddy Tony, one of the things that he said that struck me is that he gives love and he's careful to also receive love. So your primary love relationship. All of us need that primary love relationship. The fourth area is your personal development, your professional development. How do you bring yourself to the place where you occupy the space that you are supposed to occupy as a professional, as an individual? How do you develop yourself? Then the last but not the least area I want to talk about, just 5 areas: the freedom of time and money. The freedom of time and money. What are the goals that you will set in this? And so look at the 5 areas, these 5 areas of your life, and then begin to design or create that kind of future that you want to see, the kind of future that you want to bring forward. Okay, envision that and begin to plan and begin to prepare yourself. Target certain key areas, key things to do, key activities and steps to take to get you to the place that you look. This is an encouragement to you. I have seen it work in all these areas that I'm going to talk about in my own life. I've seen these things unfold as I plan and as I prepare, as I strategically position myself in one area or the other. I have seen the changes. Now let's begin into the area of your faith and your spiritual goals. The first thing that you want to ask yourself, and we'll have 4 questions for all these areas. The first one is, what is the goal? What is the goal? So far as your faith and your spiritual life is concerned, what is your goal? What is your goal? So, is it that you want to return to your first love? Is it that you want to see growth in your ministry? You want an increase in the level of your anointing? Is it that you want to see an increase in your giftings and how things flow in your service of God, or you want to see greater impact? These are goals that you set. And what is that goal? What is it that you want to see so far as your faith life, your spiritual life is concerned? And as you look at this, the second question that we want to look at is, why is this important to you? If you have that growth in ministry, if you have that growth or increase in anointing, if your giftings increase or your impact grows, or you are able to return to God, if you are able to find your feet back to God again, what will that mean to you? Why is this goal important to you? It could be that you want to get closer to God. It could be that you just want to feel God more in your life. Maybe you want to look more like Jesus, and you miss that kind of experience that you had, or some first love that you, and how you felt loved by God, and how you felt the warmth of God in the cool of the evenings, how God will come in with you. Maybe that is missing, and you determine that this is critical, important for me. Oh, you want to experience more of God, and it's very, very important. So you set a goal for that. That is number two area. So we're talking about the faith and spiritual, and we're saying number one, you want to identify what is the goal. I've given some examples of what could be the goal. Why is this goal important to you? And you want to find some of those examples. Number three question that you ask yourself is, what steps are you willing to take to achieve this goal? What steps are you willing to take to achieve this goal? One of the things you will learn from Think and Grow Rich is that there is something that you have to give. There is something that you have to give in order to bring yourself to where you want to be. It's not about what do you give up or what do you sacrifice. No, it's what do you give in exchange for whatever that you want to see. So, what are the steps? What steps are you willing to take to achieve this goal in your life? Maybe you want to pray for 30 minutes a day. You want to pray, you have your quiet time consistently. That aside, you want to spend time and pray for 30 minutes, or maybe you pray for 1 hour. Daddy Tony said he has covenanted to pray for 3 hours a day, every day, and he makes sure he does that. Maybe you want to pray in tongues for a certain amount of time consistently, just speaking and praying in tongues. Maybe it is about your scripture reading that you want to do at least 1 chapter or 3 chapters a day, and maybe you want to get into fasting. Are you putting in place some fasting regime for your life because of the goal that you have set? Or you are going to read spiritual books, books that people have written based on their experience and their research into scripture and into different people's lives, and you want to read these, or you want to go for retreats, you want to have that time for personal deliverance. These are things that you could do in order to bring you forward toward that goal that you want to achieve. And the last question, number four, is by what date will you achieve this goal? By what date will you achieve? Is it for 3 months? Is it for 6 months? Are you hoping to get to this goal by 1 year? Is it something that you are pursuing for a year? You want to set a certain deadline or a certain timeline that will guide you toward achieving or working toward achieving that goal. So then number two area that we want to look at, first one we've looked at your faith, your spiritual life. Now we want to look at your health, your body temple. What do you want to see? What is that goal? So for instance, someone says that I want to have a strong and healthy body, or that I want to overcome sickness, something like that. You set a goal like that, and you want to work towards it. That's the first thing. Number two, why is this goal important to you? Maybe you want to stay strong, you want to stay fit and healthy. Maybe you want to overcome sicknesses. You are the type that easily falls sick, and so you want to work towards it. I remember my neighbor Alex, we play soccer in our area, and then for some time I wasn't showing up. And he just saw me and said, look, you need to come and let's play on Saturday mornings. Let's get our bodies fit. If not, you're going to fall sick. So maybe you just want to overcome sickness or disease, and so you put in something, some goal that you want to work towards so that you will have the body. Maybe you need a strong body to push the kind of vision and the kind of purpose that God has deposited in your life. A strong vision needs a strong body. If not, your vision will drive the body, and then at a point, your body will just collapse. And we've seen people strong, powerful, doing a lot of things, excelling in their field, and all of a sudden it's either they just fall, heart attack, or something like that happens, and you wonder the thing had been there, but the body wasn't fit, could not contain it. Strong vision drives the body, and then the body collapses. So maybe you want a strong body to push this purpose that you have on your heart to get there. Right? I've heard Dr. Menzel talk about the fact that for someone to stand and preach for 30 minutes, 1 hour, there is a lot of perspiration. It's a lot of work as you speak, a lot of vapor and things like that come out of you, and you know that it's a lot of work. You may just take it out of the person is just talking. It's not just talking. As I do this teaching, it's not just about saying things. It's a lot of energy involved, bringing out those things that I'm speaking out to you. So, why is this important to you? Is what we have talked about now. What steps are you willing to take to get a healthy and strong body? Maybe some exercise here and there. Maybe you want to eat healthy. You want to check the water that you drink. You want to check your environment and be sure that your environment is clean. You want to engage with nature once in a while. Just go and sit at a place and just look at the trees and the birds and the animals around you and just soak in nature. These are things, steps that you may want to take. And by when do you want to see this? What date do you want to achieve this? Is it 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 3 years? You need some timeline. The third area is family relationship goals. So you look, is it that you want to start a relationship? What is the goal? Is it that you want to start a relationship? You want to start a family? You want to marry by the end of the year? Is it that you want to build a godly family, the kind of family that you want to be proud of? What is it? What is the goal? You want to be clear on what the goal is. Then, number two, why is this important to you? Maybe you want to experience love. You want to experience joy. You want to experience the warmth of people around you. And so you want to, it's not because I'm at that age where I should marry. So I need a husband. I need a wife because I have reached this age and I should marry. I don't want to mention someone's age and then they'll hold me by my neck on the street. Maybe you want to establish strong family. So is it that you need strong family bonds or you just want that network? I know families that meet at least once every year. They make sure that all family members gather and celebrate a particular day. Every family member knows that this day you don't do any other thing. You don't sacrifice it because it's a family reunion day and they want to make sure that they come. And what are the steps? If you want to see any of these things happen, what are the steps that you need to take? For instance, you want a relationship, make friends. Okay, go out there, socialize, interact with people. Okay, be friendly, be the kind of person that people also want as a friend. Be friendly, be sociable, make friends, as many friends as you can make. And then another area, if you want to build a strong family, is regular visits, meeting together, getting together, and making calls, checking up on each other. All these cement your bond. One of the things that I've seen work in building bonds is eating together. Eating together. The more you eat together, the more bonded you are, even in friendship. Can you imagine if someone that you're not very close to, you're eating, the person comes and just dips the hand in the bowl? How do you feel? You feel like someone has intruded in your space. But if someone puts the hand in the bowl and you don't feel that discomfort, it tells you the bond is solid. All right. So eating together bonds you also together. And these are things that if you want to build your family, your relationship goals, these are some of the steps that you want to take. But you also want to check by what dates do you want to see this happen? By what dates? Number four area is your personal, your professional area. Personal development, professional development. Maybe you want to start a degree course, you want to start a second degree, or you want to start a PhD, you want to get a professional course, How do you go about it? In our next episode, we'll be doing an interview with one lecturer, and we are going to get exposed to some of these things. Now, you join a professional network? Is that your goal? You want to be recognized professionally? These are some of the things that you could set for yourself for the year. Okay, you don't just wait for it to happen to you. Why is this goal important? Positioning yourself, positioning myself for promotion or positioning myself for a pay raise is critical. Networking myself for the future, making sure that I'm connecting with the right people at the right time and getting myself to the place where I gain that recognition and acceptance in the area where I have chosen for myself. So, what steps do you take? What are the things that you take if you want to build your professional life or career? So for instance, you start a degree, you want a degree, you start the course, okay? Whatever professional course, you start it, you apply for it, and you get enrolled, and then you take it up. You don't apply to one place and say that they didn't take you, and so you give up. You make sure that you're getting yourself enrolled. You register in a professional association. You pursue getting certification. I want to salute one of my mentors, Taka Wari. She just received recognition. International Coaches Federation has given her another level of certification. I want to salute you. So you get certification in this area of my work. I had to get John C. Maxwell International certification. That adds some credibility to what it is that you are doing. So if you're an engineer, you're a doctor, you're a pharmacist, these areas and professions, they have certifications, and you want to make sure that you get yourself that certificate. Maybe you need a mentor or you need a coach, someone to cheer you on and guide you and help you on this journey. These are steps that you take. For instance, at the beginning of the year, I have a list of people that I've identified that I personally want to talk to them and get that relationship going between them and myself, so that I can benefit from mentorship or benefit from coaching or some professional experience that I want to get. But by when? By when do you want to get, or do you want to see that happening? Number five area is your time and financial freedom. What do you want to see? What is the goal? Is it that you want financial independence? You want to be debt free? Is it that you want to be able to purchase whatever you want to purchase, or whatever expenditure comes up that you're able to meet it? Or you want to acquire a land? You want to build a house? You want to go for vacation? You want to get a car or another car in addition to what you have? These are goals that you set for yourself. But why is this important? Why should that be important for you? Your purchasing power. It's important to put in things that allows your purchasing power to go up, and it allows to also buy you time so that you can take care of other things. A car will take you from one place to another quicker than if you want to order for a taxi or Uber or Bolt or Yango or whichever. And if you had your own car, it will take you less time to make that move, and that allows you to buy more time. What steps do you take? Maybe you want to clear your debts first and foremost. All the people you owe, you want to make sure that you're clearing everything. Or you want to build some investment portfolio. You want to make sure that you are growing your income, and what you are putting aside to buy that land or build a house, you're not just putting it in an account and it's eating away with charges, but it's an investment account and it's growing, something like that. Or you want to scout and look for a land, and you want to find a place, or you want to just start that side gig or something that will provide extra income for you, and you want to take that on additional income, maybe some network marketing things or some ton moves here and there, so you get that extra income, and then it builds you up. So, friends, what have we been talking about? We're saying that there are five key areas, five primary areas of our lives that we need to set goals to help us bring forward that future positive that we want to see. And we said if number one area is your spiritual life, the second area is about your health and your body temple, the third area is about your love relationship. What is happening there? The fourth area is your personal and professional development. And then number five is about your time and money, the kind of freedom that you have in there. These are the five key areas that we want to draw your attention to, that all of us need to set targets and goals and pursue them. It helps our life to gain a certain balance. Share with your friends, invite others to come and join with us. Let others also connect and also learn the things that we are learning together. Thank you very much for your time, for staying with us, and for being part of this community. Stay blessed, take care of yourself, and be safe. Bye bye.